Hey guys, what is good? RagingSpiritGaming here. So this is going to be the first episode of the podcast, Sunday Prattlings with Rsg. We had a lot of issues streaming it. I did end up figuring out why, and I am hoping to have that fixed by the time that we do this next Sunday. Just another big thank you to Joey and Kat for coming out and helping me make this happen. There was some issues with the recording also. The cameras didn't really pick up, but I did recover most of the audio. We're missing about 20 minutes at the end of the podcast, so it's going to be a fairly short recorded podcast, only about 40 minutes. But yeah, to anybody coming by to watch this afterwards, thank you very much, and anybody who stopped by the actual stream, I appreciate all of you people. Anyways, without further ado, please enjoy. What is up, guys? You know what? This is the intro. I don't even care. What is up, guys? RagingSpiritGaming. Welcome to the first week of Sunday Prattlings with RSG. We tried to do this as a live series. My computer just doesn't want to handle it, so we're going to record it. We are here with Youngster Joey Videos and MommaCat over here. So, how are you guys doing today?
I'm okay, especially because Joey started with a cactus dance like this. And that really does it for me. It looks, I mean, you look like a cactus when you do it, because it's like a cactus arms, you know? Like this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the podcast.
That's alright.
Wait, you're over there. Hold on. Which way do I have to go? This way. Are you ready?
I've already done it. I've already done it. Okay.
Let's do it again. We did it! I hate myself.
High fives. I'm really looking forward to this. What you're going to have to do is really rein us in, RSG. If you want Kat and I to behave, we need constant structure.
I mean, whoever said anything about behaving?
I need an outline. I need a script, honestly.
Yeah, I thought I was going to pre-get these questions, so I didn't have to work that hard, and I can just BS everything.
On Twitter.
Well, I mean, they've been on Twitter for over a month, Joey.
I don't know how to read.
I know.
Hey, what's up? I'm Joey. I'm in my mid-20s, and I never learned how to fucking read.
You have to record yourself reading the questions.
I'm also teaching the youth of America.
Yeah. Hashtag youth of America.
You know what's depressing? That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyways.
They always say.
So, this week we're just going to do like a Q&A. Every week's going to be different. Sometimes we're going to be talking about stuff. And there's always going to be new guests. So, look forward to that.
So,
I have a feeling my leather jacket...
we're not invited back.
Yeah. What the hell?
Never. No.
RSG, I thought this was going to be a regular thing. All three of us hanging out every Sunday. We're going to be biffles for the Bristles.
Well, I mean, we can hang out every Sunday, but...
Well, RSG, I only want to hang out if you're recording it. I have very little free time.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
All right, fair enough. All right, so...
He's like, just kidding, I don't leave the house.
I have a really bad feeling that my jacket is rubbing against the headset, and you can hear it. And that's not a good thing.
But that doesn't mean they don't.
Same.
That's a very good point. Anyways, let's get into the questions. The first one that I have written down here is, what is something that you cannot live without, and why? So let's give Joey the first answer on this one.
Yeah, make Joey do it.
Something I can't live without. Do you want a serious answer or a joke answer? Because jokingly, I can't live without my Syndico pussy.
This is a podcast, Joey.
Come on, Joey. Everyone's supposed to learn more about you. Let's go.
Oh, okay. So I have to be serious. Something I can't live without. Kyrie.
I was literally about to say he's gonna say Kyrie.
And I don't blame you there.
Like literally, like days I don't get to see her are worse days. Like, you know, like I go out of town and like I'm supposed to be doing like fun things, and the entire time I'm just like, who's here? Like, yeah, it's like my whole life. Okay, real talk. I never understood the whole like emotional support animal thing until I had a puppy, and I'm like, wait a minute, this totally makes sense. Like there were days where I would get home and just like feel like poo, especially like while I was working because my kids were poop stains. And then I would be like, oh, God, better. Like, I'm still sad, but less sad because you're here. So I could not live without my Carrie Grace. She's
Yeah,
wonderful.
I get
She's my
that.
golden girl. RSG's gonna put a picture in post. No, just kidding. Don't do that.
Post
That sounds like work.
editing.
Just get Kyrie.
I did this
just
in
go,
Streamlabs
Kyrie.
just so I didn't
I put
have
her
to
in the other
edit.
room because I was trying to be helpful and professional on someone else's stream, but maybe that was a bad idea.
Nah, I get that. Especially because like she may be like a big part of your life, but you're her entire life. So like I feel the same way with my toads. Like if I don't have my toads, I have no structure to my day. I need something to care for. I need something to force me into structure, or else like I'll just do nothing for days, which is not good and not a joke. Like it's very dangerous. Sometimes you need animals to help you structure your life. You need responsibility towards something. My answer is my toads, by the way.
Yeah, when
Oh,
you go to
okay.
town, like, how you were out of town the last couple of days, do like your mom feed your toads, or can they go a couple days without food and stuff?
So this species of toad actually shouldn't eat every day. It would be really bad for them. They should eat every 3 to 5 days, depending on how old they are. But they do need fresh water every day. So my family will do that for me on the occasion I leave the house. But they're very low maintenance creatures.
All right.
RSG, what could you not live without?
Yeah.
Before I answer that, going back to that point about like Kat feeling like she needs structure and she needs to be able to care for something to feel that. If anybody watching this, I need to be cared for 24/7. So no,
I'm
but
looking
seriously,
for someone.
seriously,
Are you looking for a mom or a wife?
oh, I mean,
A little bit of both.
you never know. One can be both. Sometimes you never know.
Oh, God.
No, but seriously, I would have to say for me, it would have to be my little dog. He's not here right now, and there's days where you just don't want to do anything, and they're always there for you. And I definitely will say that I suffer from a lot of anxiety, and
Me too.
he definitely helps me with that. So I'm glad I have him, and I definitely could not live without him.
We have great answers, guys. Good job.
It's all about animals,
oh my
man.
God, Joey.
You just can't
Nah,
live
it
without
really
animals.
is. Before I found this community in the first place and started making content, I was kind of at like a low point. And there were certain days where I was like, well, if I give up, who will feed the toads? And it sounds like a joke and like a meme of an answer, but I really mean it. Like nobody knows how to take care of my toads except for me. So if something happens to me, who will feed the toads? And it just keeps you going sometimes. Somebody relies on you as the cat harasses me.
Harassment.
Ha ha. He said the S word. I hate myself.
Guys, that's a
Edit
funny
that out.
word.
Siri, edit that out.
Not editing shit.
Oh,
All right.
God.
So, second question. Who is somebody that you really look up to, and what is a main reason that you look up to that person?
I look up to MommaCat because she's
Do I have to answer this one first?
You answer first.
Yeah, it's your turn, Mama.
Okay, so if you had asked me this question 3 days ago, it would have been the same answer it is now, but it would have been less of a conversation. Jenna Marbles,
Fair enough.
who just got bullied off the internet, which makes me so angry. But I've been watching her content ever since I was like young and spry. And I feel like I watched her progress from like really childish and silly videos, which at the time were hysterical because I was at the point in my life that was what was funny. And I've watched her progress to just doing her best at once a week, just doing her best. And like, that's really all you can manage sometimes. You do your best. Sometimes you make a video of your dog politely eating something, and that's what she does. And I just love Jenna so much. And I think she's one of the most genuine content creators that I've seen. And because she's a content creator and not like a celebrity that you see on TV or in a movie, you're seeing more of her real life and more of her genuine personality come through when you are watching her content. So she's always been somebody that I've thought was particularly important, I guess, to my development. And this cat.
And Slutty Cat.
And Slutty Cat.
I want to be a slutty cat.
All right.
Maybe in my wildest dreams.
I guess I'll go second on this one. I'd say my answer's changed recently. My older answer used to be like kind of that group like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. Like they kind of did what they wanted when they wanted, and they only played things that really they enjoyed, and they only made videos that they enjoyed making. And for me, that's kind of how I am. I don't really want to record something because I feel obligated to. I want to record something because I'm going to enjoy doing it. And that's actually one of the big reasons why I started doing it, was because it was something I knew I was going to enjoy doing. But um, a lot recently, they've been talking about how they feel more obligated to make content, and that's why they've been putting it out. And for me, that makes it a little bit less enjoyable, and it kind of makes me not idolize them as much because it feels like they're kind of selling out. But I would say somebody now that I would look up to is like Papa Agron, honestly. He's still making content he wants. He's always there. He's always there if someone needs to talk to him. And he's always been a good friend to me and a lot of people in the community. So I look up to him, and I definitely want to like model myself after that eventually. Like if people need to talk, my DMs are always open, and I try to let everybody know that. So yeah, I'd have to definitely say Papa right now.
I was thinking like when you asked like a less YouTube version wise, because like I don't honestly know any channels that I like really like quote unquote look up to channel wise. I was thinking more like life wise. I look up to my mom a lot, and Kat hates my mom, but
okay, I don't hate your mom. We have different opinions on everything, but I don't hate her.
But like I don't know, I look up to her a lot, but just because like there are a lot of things like she sacrificed for like me and my sisters growing up, because like we didn't have very much money, and yet like I didn't know that for a very long time. Like I went to private school, and my mother like sacrificed everything in order for that to happen and stuff like that. And I don't know, like she's just a really caring person, a whole lot more caring than I am. But like as far as like channel wise, again, I definitely like Papa. I don't know if that would be my answer if I hadn't heard you say it. But again, Papa's definitely really awesome. And then and again, there's just so many other content creators that I like. I don't, again, look up to might not be the right word, but like I definitely like see what they're doing and be like, yeah, they're definitely like they're on the right track, and I want to, I guess, emulate them. So I guess that's kind of looking up to as well. So yeah, I think that that's awesome, RSG. Good job.
Yeah, no, originally I was kind of aiming the question more towards like a life way, and then I don't know, it made more sense to go the YouTube route.
I'd
Like,
be like that sometimes.
like no, like I do like that MommaCat took it that way, because honestly, if I'm looking life-wise right now, I probably would have been sitting here for like 20 minutes trying to figure out who. Honestly, but I do like that it went that way.
Even if you had asked me that question before I started making content, my answer still would have been Jenna, because I've been watching her since I was like a kid. I've been watching her since the very beginning, and I've always looked at her as somebody who can literally do whatever she wants, and she doesn't care what anybody thinks. And I've always wanted to emulate being that kind of woman, because it's different to be a woman on the internet or in society than it is to be a dude for a lot of reasons. But like one of them is having to always be so worried about how you're appearing to others, like your physical appearance. And Jenna just goes out there and does whatever she wants. So it would have been Jenna either way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. So the third question we have here, what are your career goals or your channel goals? So if you are planning on doing this full time as a career someday, what are your goals for your channel? Like, where do you want it to go? Or if you're mostly doing this as a hobby and you don't expect to make it, what are your main career goals? I guess I'll start this one because it's my turn. Generally, I never really thought I was gonna go anywhere on YouTube. I didn't even think I was gonna hit 100 subscribers, honestly. I've been trying to start YouTube since like 2009, and I've never gotten more than 10 up until last year, so I never expected to go anywhere. Career-wise, I'm currently looking on re-enrolling in college to go back for game design development, so if I could ever get into that field, I'd be really happy with that. So definitely that's my main career goal, is getting into video game design development.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. What like interests you so much about game design? Is it just because like you like playing them, or is there something about like the computer-y that you like a lot?
Ever since I was a little kid, like I played a lot of video games, but as soon as I started being able to understand what was behind it, like the coding and understanding, like it was a lot of mathematics and like pretty much just like equations that were making things happen. I got really interested in knowing what was behind it and knowing why certain things happened and learning the physics and mechanics behind games. So for me, being able to figure that out more, understand that, and be able to use it to make my own games, especially as a writer, would just be kind of a really cool thing for me. I could actually produce my own stories in a way that is unique and I'd actually enjoy.
Yeah, that was my other question about like the stories and like how much do you like write now and like write with the W, not an R. Like, how much do you write and like think about that kind of stuff and like building stories?
Well, right now I have 15 short stories written, sitting printed off. I'm not sure if you were around when I did my original Storytime with RSG video, but I am planning on bringing that series back, where I basically just read off my short stories and stuff. And I do have a script written for an animated series that I want to start. I need to find a new animator, though, because my animator got busy and had to drop, so he can't do it anymore. And I have about 8 or 9 chapters of a novel written right now that I'm hoping to try to get published, but if it doesn't, that's probably going to be what I base my first game off of.
Yeah, if you ever need like a cover model, like basically a guy to dress shirtless and like take a picture for the cover of your book, just let me know.
Always you, Joey.
Thanks, bud. As far as like my main career goals, like honestly, like it would be like cool as the F word if I could like do YouTube full time. Like I have a quote unquote real job, but like I mean I like it a lot and like it's fulfilling and it's a whole lot better than what I was doing in the past. But like I honestly think YouTube would be just like the coolest career ever. But like it would I think about it like with my quote unquote again real job, like I'm a teacher, whatever, like I have things like health insurance and retirement and crap like that. So like even if I was actually to a point where I was, getting $2,000 or $3,000 a month on YouTube, like that's about what I make for my real job, but all that other crap wouldn't be there. So I would have to, I don't know, I would have to do a whole lot of stuff to make it really viable.
It'd have to be at a point where it would be financially possible for you to leave your job, and if something went wrong, you could still fix it and not be in a hole.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it probably won't happen ever, but it would be really cool if it did. So I guess that's more of a career dream than a career goal more than anything would be to be like full-time YouTube. I think it'd be so cool, but I'm obviously not there yet, and maybe one day it would be awesome.
All right, Kat.
When I graduated from high school and was supposed to like go away to college, I decided to stay home instead at the very last second. And I've never had a very definitive plan or goal for myself. I started as a business management major, and then I switched over to American Sign Language, and then I minored in sign language, and then I wanted to do nursing and this, that, and the other thing. And at the beginning of this year, I was working in commercial property management. And then, are you making fun of my hand gestures, Joey?
No, I was signing.
Oh, were you? Good to
you said ASL.
Well, I was a commercial property manager at the beginning of the year, and then everything that's going on in the world happened, and I got let go, so that sucks. And so now I am doing this full time, and that's not sustainable, obviously, because I'm not making enough money off of YouTube to do this forever. So I've never really had a goal, but if I could make content creation a full time thing, that would be sick. But in regards to what Joey said about, there's no health insurance, there's no real backup. Like if something goes wrong, that's it. Like that's a big problem, and that scares me a lot. I like structure and I like definitive, okay, I'm getting paid this much money on this day at this time. So
yeah,
it's kind of scary to think about trying to turn this into a full-time thing someday. I mean, a sustainable full-time thing and not a for now full-time thing where I'm living off my savings. But it would be really cool to make this full-time, or at least be involved in it full time, even if it was more the art route, because I have been trying to get really good at Photoshop lately. And something along those lines would be kind of cool. Something creative. I don't want to be stuck at a desk job. I've been at a desk job since I was 18 and I'm now 25. So I'm sick of that already.
Yeah, because when you're on YouTube, you're never sitting at your desk.
Okay, you understand that it's so silly.
No,
it's more creative. It's more fluid.
I can understand that.
Like, yourself?
When I denest myself, when I did my sleep walk, I moved. This is also a big thing with content creation. I had my setup with like near my bed, and I was nested in my bed, which was fun, but it killed my spine. And I think that sitting at a desk all the time, particularly something like YouTube where you're at home, and so there is no, I start my day at 9 a.m. and I end it at 5 p.m. and then I walk after I do this. It's really easy to end up sitting in this chair for like 20 hours straight and like totally lose track of time, and it's so bad on your body. That would be another concern of mine if I was a full-time content creation. I don't know if I have the self-control to like get away from this desk for long enough to keep myself alive otherwise. So it involves a lot more discipline than you would think, I think, in my opinion, to do something that's this creative and this fluid all the time.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like I've been working factory jobs since I was 16. Like I've not really done anything else. I bartended for a bit, but after all this stuff started, I had to go back to a factory spot. So that's why I've been trying to go back to college, because I went for 1 semester for psychology and developmental services worker, and I had to drop out, and I never bothered to go back. But I figured now this is the perfect time. So I do get where you're coming from with that, though, Kat, about not wanting to just work a 9 to 5 desk job the rest of your life, kind of thing, and it's not a fun thing. You kind of get stuck in that rut, right?
For sure.
You do, yeah. I think that sometimes it just becomes very, you kind of stop caring about the work that you're doing because so much of it is not stuff that you would choose to do. Like you have no outlet other than this is what I have to do and what I'm supposed to do. And I need something where I have more, okay, this is the stuff I have to do and that's fine and I can get that done. But I need to be able to do some stuff that I just am doing because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I don't think that I could just settle for doing what somebody else tells me is my responsibilities for the day forever. I don't function that way.
Yeah. All right. So on to the next question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? So let's start with who started the first one? That was
Right.
Joey. So
Yeah,
Joey
right.
will start this one.
I mean, hopefully, like drunk under a bridge.
You stole my answer.
5 years. Okay, so I will be Lex's age. I'll be sexy Lexi 30. So
Lex.
at 30, I mean, hopefully I have a lady friend by that point. You know, I'm very lonely as it is. So it would be nice to have like a lady, like a wife, and like maybe a kid or a kid on the way or something. Like again, career wise, again, I'll probably be still working at the school. I would like to be in administration at one point because like kids are hard, but like if you're in administration, you get paid a lot more and you don't have to deal with the kids quite as much. So I would like again, like my current principal is like 33, and like in my school system, it's like pretty average. So like I don't necessarily want to be a principal at age 30, but like I could be. But like hanging out like vice president level that doesn't have to do any work, that just kind of hangs out in his office all day, like that sounds great. And then yeah, again, so I think that's about it. Like I want a wife and a kid or two. I want like 11 one day. No, I'm just kidding. I think 2 is a good number. And then yeah, maybe again administration. Again, maybe 5 years from now, who knows? Maybe I'd be full time YouTube. Probably not, but maybe. All that would be fun.
All right, Kat, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm the opposite of Joey in every single way. I do not want children at all. I don't necessarily know if I believe in marriage for myself. Like, I just don't see myself being happy in something like that. And I don't really know yet. I don't really think about that so much. It's not really a concern. I think that when I think about like 5 years from now, it's very blurry. It's a very blurry image. So I'm not really sure. I would be totally happy if in 5 years I was living in like a spacious but still studio apartment with like my animals and like still doing something creative and like doing content and maybe focus more on the art aspect of this because I used to be quite the artist when I was young and spry. I just need like a drawing pad and I promise I'll prove it. I think something like that's more fluid where I can like kind of leave whenever I want to. I would probably have to bring my toads with me though. They're very needy sometimes and go just do whatever I want without having like children around or like a spouse to worry about was probably more my speed. So I don't really know where I'm going to be in 5 years, but it's definitely going to be a mess. So a mess. In 5 years, I plan on being a mess, just like now.
Fair enough. All right. 5 years from now, well, hopefully I'll have gotten in and graduated from my game design course. I do have a travel bucket list. I'm hoping to have at least 2 or 3 of those places knocked off by the time I'm 28, 29. So hopefully I'll have that done. If I find somebody, I find somebody, whatever. Like, I'd like to be with somebody who makes me happy, but if I don't find the right person, I don't find the right person. I've been in too many long-term relationships that have messed up, and I don't want to take a chance on that. As for career, it could go one of 2 ways, depending on how it comes when I get out of college. I'm hoping either if I don't get picked up by a big company, I can even just start my own small game design company. I do have a couple friends that have gone through for coding, a few people who know how to do art and storyboards, so I'm sure they'd be interested in helping me do a startup or something. But yeah, for the most part, it'd be mostly just trying to live my life to the fullest as I'm young, so I don't have to worry about trying to knock things off my list when I'm older and have any regrets about it. Especially because, years of factory work, my whole body's already beaten down. I don't know how much longer it'll last for me to go traveling.
What's at
If you
the
do
top
decide
of
to
the
go to
travel list? My bad.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say,
Go
if you do decide to go to school and you graduate from that, I do have a friend that works for Rockstar, so let me know, and I'll see if I can pull strings for you.
Yo, I can move down to Cali. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, wait, Rockstar the drink or Rockstar Gaming?
Rockstar Gaming.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, either one would be great. I endorse both their
Yeah, right?
products. Rockstar, sponsor me. No.
I know somebody who works for Monster.
Okay, now I'm jealous.
That's so cool.
I've lived a lot of life in my 25 years. I've met a lot of people, but most of it has been a disaster, so it's probably not a good thing. You don't want to be like me, reckless,
Disaster
careless.
Gaming.
A free spirit, okay.
All right. Question 5. If you could go anywhere right now, if you could fly anywhere, where would you go and why? So you start this one off, Kat.
That's a really difficult question for me because there are places I would like to go for myself, but I'm also like I'm very I don't know if clingy is the right word, but I'm very attached to certain people that I've met in this community who live very far away. So if it was for me, I would probably go to somewhere like Thailand because I just like the idea of being able to backpack through a whole area like that and stay at hostels by myself, although that sounds really dangerous, so probably not. It's more of a dream than anything else. But realistically speaking, I think I would probably go up to Canada and visit Lex.
Let's say you gotta hang out with
I
Lex.
probably would.
I knew
I would
it.
probably
The
go
second
see
you
Lex.
started talking, you were gonna say Lex.
Well, I mean, if
It's
you're
just
coming up to
because-
Canada to visit Lex, you better stop and visit me and Uzi too. So
For sure.
we
for
all
sure.
live in the same province.
For sure. It's just one of those things that like I said a minute ago, I've met a lot of people in my 25 years of life, although it hasn't been that many years, but I've probably met too many people in those years. And I think Lex is one of the first people I've met that I really feel like I was fully comfortable with from the beginning and feel really bonded to. And it would be really nice to be able to actually meet my new YouTube friend in person. And it's really frustrating to get so invested in a community like this and not be able to go see people. So I'd probably take that chance to go meet Lex.
Yeah.
And visit you and Uzi. But Lex would be my priority, numero uno.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel that. Like, me and Uzi were talking about meeting up once, and then I got busy and kind of dipped off the internet, and we never really came back to it. But I'm sure one day I'm going to head up there. He's not that far from me, so I'll be going up there. If all this stuff ends, I'll be going up there in the next couple months, so I might be able to hit him up. All right.
Don't be too choosy when you're trying to meet Uzi. That's what I always say.
That's very true. All right, so for me, if I could fly anywhere right now, again, it's a lot of that same thing. Like, there's the personal aspect of where I want to go, and then there's having met all my friends and wanting to meet them. So, personally, for me, big dream of mine has always been to go to Japan, go see all the ancient, like, the ruins, the burial sites, the temple, terracotta army, like all that stuff. I want to go see all of it. I'm a huge history buff, so, and I'm also like, I love their culture, so I'd love to go there. As for the YouTube side of me and wanting to go meet a lot of my new friends, I would probably take a car and drive all the way down to Texas, and just all my friends on the way stop and say hi, and make the last trip right at Papa's. And me and Papa would just, chug back a whole bottle of whiskey, and I'd probably fall asleep on his deck.
On his deck, not even
I fall asleep
inside.
on his dick. I mean,
Well, I mean, if it came to that. Joey, there's children. No, but honestly, if I was drinking that much, I probably wouldn't make it in the door, just saying.
I like how you assume you're going to start the drinking before you get inside.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
You're not going to go in first and say hello, tour of the house. Can I
Nope,
use your
I'm
restroom?
showing
I've been
up
driving for
on the
4 days.
doorstep.
Like, nope. Open the car door and there's already whiskey in your hand.
Oh yeah, I'm showing up at the doorstep. I'm calling him on Discord and be like, Pop, I'm outside with a bottle of whiskey, get out here. No, but yeah, so Joey, how about you? If you could go anywhere right now, where would you go and why?
I've been racking my brain while y'all were talking, and that's why I had a couple weird faces. I'm not a traveler. I'm really not. Like, traveling costs a lot of money, and I think that's like the main reason why I don't do it. Like, I've never been to Europe or anything. Like, I mean, if people wanted to go and like they did all the work of scheduling the trip, like I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll go, whatever.
That's the fun part.
Like, the scheduling.
Yeah, the planning.
No, I don't see. I don't like. Again, we're very different cats.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's more phrase it this way then, Joey. If you didn't have to pay a cent and you had all
tell
of
me
the
where you wanna go. I
accommodations made
arrange it.
for you, where would you go?
I really don't. Like I said, I'm just not a traveler. Again, I would go, but it would genuinely just be more about like hanging out with people. And my sister is planning a trip to Hawaii, and like Hawaii's cool, but like they're not like doing like Hawaii things. They're just like all hanging out as a family, like with her husband's family. And I'm like, why don't you just like hang out at home? Like if you're just gonna hang out with people, like just hang out at home. Like again, there are obviously people that I've met that I would love to meet. Like I would love to go hang out with Kat or like hang out with like some of my other friends and stuff. But like again, as far as traveling, like we don't just come here. Georgia's way cooler.
Joey's a real homebody.
I really am.
All right,
yeah,
note
pass.
when I throw a big.
You told me I was allowed to pass, so I'm passing.
All right.
I don't want to go anywhere.
No,
I do
think that's a good answer though.
Yeah, it is, and I do have that noted when I decide to throw my big content creator party at the lake. Don't invite Joey because he won't come.
Wait, what lake are we going to? Again, I would come. Again,
No.
I'm just not gonna actively seek out going anywhere. Like again, I plan on going to PAX and like I'll have to travel that. I'm not against traveling. I just don't care enough to like actively seek out a trip, if that makes sense.
No,
I think there's something nice about though, like that you feel fulfilled enough as it is with the current state of your life that you're not like, because most of traveling is the idea of traveling more than actual traveling. Like I went to Vegas once and I'm from New York, so that was a long plane ride. It was unpleasant. It wasn't fun. Like the getting there and getting back was so exhausting. I almost regret going because it was just so much. So, but I still have that. I feel unfulfilled. I need something. I have to go somewhere. That restlessness. It sounds like you don't have that restlessness. You're very happy with the way that things are, and that's nice. I envy that.
Yeah, I have Kyrie. What more do I need?
Exactly.
She's so cute.
A lot of people who say they want to travel, I think it's more that they feel unfulfilled and they're missing something, and they think, oh, well, if I just go to the other side of the world for a little while, then I'll be fixed and cured and everything will be fine. And it really does not work like that. It doesn't. So I do think that there is something to be said for being content without like imagining the idea of going somewhere on a trip, because you don't really know what it's going to be like until you get there. It sounds nice, but what if you get there and you hate it? You don't know. So I envy it.
That's very true. All right, the next question. I did write down some of the questions Joey gave me right before the attempted stream.
I was just trying to make sure we had some deep questions.
Hey, they were good questions, especially because we're all small streamers, right? So, question 6 is, how did you get into YouTube? So, mine's actually a really long story. It started way back in 2008. I was playing a shooter game called Crossfire, which I actually still play. Me and my buddy were in a clan and we wanted to make a recruitment video. So we recorded a lot of gameplay and everything, and we uploaded it for people that wanted to join the clan. They could check it out. Shortly after that, me and him were talking, and we both really liked Pokemon. So we decided to make some guide videos, like walkthroughs on Fire Red and Leaf Green. He would cover one, I'd cover the other, and we'd upload to the same channel. I'd say it was about 3 weeks into that, and I'd uploaded about 20 videos and he hadn't done anything, so I got annoyed and quit. I then later started up another channel on my own, where I'd only posted 2 videos, and a buddy of mine from high school had actually found out about it, and me and him did a lot of like co-op let's plays. That our old co-op channel is actually still up, which nobody is ever going to find. And yeah, then about 2 years ago, I finally came back and I found this small community, and I decided that I wanted to get back into it. And just this year, I finally splurged and got myself a decent laptop, because I figured the PS4 streams were getting a little bit boring. So I finally splurged, got myself a laptop, a second monitor, and everything. And yeah, we are sitting at we are now.
Yeah, so my story is, I don't know, it's weird because I love hearing why people started streaming, but my story's kind of lame. So I need to like rehearse my own, because I asked tons of people, I'm like, hey, why'd you get into this? Because I think it's really interesting. But again, my own garbage. But like, I mean,
channel, right?
No, it's not my match. I deleted that. At least I meant to. I don't know if I did. Cat is referencing why when I had to make a math channel for all the stuff that's going on in the world, and then I didn't do much with it. I just started putting videos directly into Google Classroom instead of putting on YouTube because I felt embarrassed. Okay, anyway, the first YouTubes I've ever been in was stuff that my friend did in college, but that wasn't really anything to do with anything. It was like scripted. He was like, hey, you want to be an actor in my thing? And I was like, yeah, I'm good looking. I should be in everyone's things. I didn't really say that. I don't have very much self-confidence. But anyway, that happened. And then, so what year is it now? 2020? So like October 2018, I was working at Target, and I hated everything in the entire world. I didn't have Kyrie yet, so there was nothing to be happy about. And I was watching a ton of YouTube. Like that was literally all I was doing. And I was watching the Cage Log for like Vinny and Dylan, like their like first season or maybe second. I don't know. Again, it's weird. Like I don't even watch that content anymore, honestly. But I was watching a ton of it, and one of the episodes are like, "Hey guys, y'all should do this. It's super fun." I mean, not that way because they're different than that, but that's basically the gist of it. And I was like, "Yeah, I should do it. Thanks, guys." And I literally like the next day went to Best Buy and bought like the shittiest laptop they had because they had no money. And I started and I made content for like 3 months with Pooh, and then I like after a couple months like actually was like, hey, I really like this. This is like super fun. Like I'm not pissed off about everything anymore, so I'm gonna actually put some money in this. And then like I quit for a while after that. Like I went until like April, and then I moved. And then I got back into it in January because I was like, I miss it. Like, why haven't I been doing this? So then I've been like, I don't know, pretty consistent, pretty fun, pretty loving it since January. And then I got to meet Cat Gaming and other fun people and everything.
Not Cat Gaming.
I know, but MommaCat sounds weird. I don't like calling you MommaCat.
He hates my name. Joey hates my name.
I normally just call you Cat, but like I feel like when I'm streaming, it's weird to just call you Cat. So that's where Cat Gaming comes from.
It's not weird because Cat is my name. People think that my channel name is MommaCat because I like cats, but my name is Catherine.
Yeah, I know. You don't have to at me. I know.
I'm telling the people.
I know.
No, I do think it's funny that you mentioned the season 1 of Dylan and Vinny's Cage Law, because that's actually what eventually led me to find this community. Was I was watching that and found out that Dylan did live streams, and he had rated. I was in one of his live streams, and he rated Video Games and Chill's Sleep Lock when TJ was there. And I started going to TJ's streams a lot, and that's where I met a lot of the people in this community and started branching out. Like, that's how I met Turtle. And me and Turtle started watching each other's streams when we both started out, so.
That's fun.
It's crazy how all these small communities kind of branched up around some of these bigger channels, and we've become such a big small community now that it's crazy. Like when I first got into the community, there was maybe like 20-25 of us that actually made content, and the rest of us were just kind of like supporters and like hanging out and like doing artwork for people. And then now like everybody's making content. Like I'm subbed to like 900 people now.
Holy bro.
And it's hard, and I feel bad that I don't get to stop by and say hi to everybody anymore, but Like,
You should unsub to everyone but me and Kat, is what I'm hearing. Oh,
Joey's not even sub to me.
Well, I'm not, but RSG should be. What about you, Sister Catherine? What made you start?
Every time people tell me how they started on YouTube, it's always stories like those two where it's they saw those bigger channels. I wanted to make content from like way before. I actually want to start a podcast. Fun fact. I wanted to do podcasts and I was like, nobody's going to listen to my podcast. I don't have anything important to say. What would I even talk about? I'm going to do something else. And I was on YouTube. I think I was playing through Pokemon Sword and I stumbled upon Kanto Critic, who's a smaller creator in the community. And I hung out in his streams without saying anything for like a while because I was nervous and scared. And I'm like, I don't want to, people are going to look at me, make fun of me. Nobody's going to like me. And then I finally started like speaking and I was like, all right, I'm actually going to start making content on this because I just never knew what to make. Like I didn't know if anybody was going to care about me playing Pokemon. So that never even crossed my mind until I found somebody who was already doing it. So I always wanted to make content, but didn't actually start until the end of January 2020 when I saw somebody else doing it who like was small enough to actually speak to me and be like, no, you totally could do it. Like people are not as mean as you think they're going to be. Because that held me back a lot. I was like, people are going to not like my personality. Nobody likes me in real life. So nobody's going to like me on the internet. And people are going to make fun of what I look like because everybody's their own worst critic. Like I was so concerned. People were going to be like, she's so ugly. She's the worst. But so far, people have been relatively nice. So does that count as an answer? It was a little disjointed. I did my best.
Yeah, I forgot my first video I ever made had absolutely nothing to do with gaming, and then I didn't actually upload it. But I made it like 3 years before I actually made my channel. I made a video about movies because I love movies, and like most of the stuff I watch, that's not like my friends anyway. Like if I'm watching a big channel, it's like people talking about movies, and I'm like, so I made one, and I was like, no, this is stupid. And then like 3 years later, I actually made a channel, so I had almost forgotten about that.
honestly,
it actually just reminded me that I did make a video before I started streaming. I made it on my phone and I edited it on my iPad because I didn't have like a laptop or like a setup or anything. And it was literally, I wanted to start a YouTube channel and I didn't know what to make it about. So I was like, I'm just going to make my first video about me wanting to start a YouTube channel and like literally just my whole like process of getting there and like the research I was doing and what I had found about like what you're supposed to do and like all of that as almost a tutorial, but learning with me. And then I edited it and I was like, this is the worst video I've ever seen in my life. I'm not putting this anywhere. It was a bad idea. The cat was bad.
I
Oh,
kind of
it's
wish I
bad.
could see it.
It's so bad. It's so
do you
bad.
still have this somewhere, Cat? DM it
I
to me
do.
later. DM
No,
it
I'm
to
not
me
going
later,
to.
please.
I
No,
won't.
Cat.
I'm not doing it.
all right.
And also, as I was filming it, I was like seeing that my face looked like I didn't have makeup on when I started. So in every cutscene, I have more and more makeup on because I'm like watching back what I just recorded, and I'm like, I still don't look right, and there's more and more. And now I barely wear makeup, like a little bit, but not very much.
Because you're so beautiful.
Fair
Oh
enough.
my God.
All right, I'll make you guys a deal. If you promise never to show anybody, after
Man.
this stream, I will link you to my old collab channel with my classmate from high school.
Yes, I am so excited.
And you'll see how cringy I was way back then.
I'm sure you were wonderful.
And the worst part is, I still went under the same name back then. I've had this name for like... I think that was...
right now.
Nope, because it's a collab channel, so you won't actually know the collab channel name. I deleted the actual old channel, but the collab channel's still up.
RSG with friend.
I wish.
RSG and company.
Alright. Question 7 was kind of what Kat already started going over. What were some of the things that were holding you back at the start? Joey?
Am I supposed to start this time? Or
Yeah,
is Joey
Catherine. No, go ahead.
I mean, like I said, I was just really worried that like no one would, not even that they wouldn't subscribe. I didn't even think about that. It's never been like a numbers game for me. More that like I was just going to get really harsh criticism just about who I am as a person, just because I can be really awkward and I don't always know the right thing to say and I stumble over my words a lot and I get like mild tics. Like you'll notice sometimes I kind of go like that because I get mild tics. And I just was really concerned that people would be cruel and savage because people are mean on the internet. But luckily, it's this community I ended up in and not another one where people are meaner, because if people had started right off the bat criticizing me really harshly for things that like I had no intention of hurting anybody, just personal criticisms, that were not constructive, I would have stopped. I would have stopped right away. I would have deleted my channel automatically and just hidden, because I get very sensitive. I'm very delicate flower. I really am. Like I don't like to feel like I'm like hurting people or upsetting them or like hurting their feelings, and I don't like when people like tell me that they don't like small mannerisms I can't help. Like, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm sorry if that annoys some people, but you don't really need to say it.
I mean,
So far, people have been nice.
I do the same thing. That's a lot of the reason why my webcam is up here. Is because a lot of the time when I'm talking, my hands are actually moving under the camera view. I feel weird about that, so that's one of my main insecurities, so I kind of hide that. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out, and once again, as I said before, it was longer, the file got corrupted, and this is all the audio I could actually recover. But I do hope you guys enjoyed, and I appreciate every one of you beautiful people. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.